Good afternoon. I want to welcome everyone back to campus. I hope people had a great summer. I know I did. We've been anticipating the start of school for several months, and I'm telling you, if you're on this campus right now, you just feel the excitement and the energy from all the students and faculty and staff being back on campus. It's really a great time to be a volunteer. We say that all the time, but I really mean it this time. It's a great time. Let me remind you about why we started these live updates, what the purpose of them is, and what you can expect this coming year. So we started these a year ago when we returned to campus, but so much of the learning was virtual. We were just really beginning as a society to understand COVID. And we started these as a way of communicating with the community what we knew, where we were, what the status of things were, what we were doing, how we were making decisions and thinking about things. And I've seen so many people in this community over the last few months who said, I love those live updates. And these are people who don't have children here as students and they don't work here. So I recognize that these updates began to be a way of providing information to the whole community about how the university is doing and what we're doing. And so we are going to continue our live updates. We won't do them as frequently, and I'll talk about that in a minute. But we're going to use these this year to actually start with what's the latest on COVID. I honestly did not think we would be starting the school year talking about a Delta variant. And it's come up kind of quickly. But we're going to use these to tell you where we are in COVID, but we're also going to use them to share additional really important information that I want the students, parents, faculty, and staff to know, as well as members of our broader community. So let me just lay out how we're organized today. First, I'm going to start off talking about COVID, our numbers, how we're going to approach our information display about COVID. And then I have a special guest here today, Dr. Amber Williams, our Vice Provost for Student Success. We're going to pivot from talking about COVID to starting about the first of school and all the opportunities we have for students to be successful. So two important subjects that are on our minds right now. So a little bit more about these live updates. They will be streamed on YouTube, just as we did last year, and they'll be on our website every other day, every other Thursday at 2:30. So we're doing them every other week on Thursdays at 2:30 in the afternoon. So we'll all have to get into that rhythm. And of course, you can always go later and see it if you're not able to see it live. So let's begin with, once again, a COVID update. So let's think about a little bit about where we are. Unlike last year, we're not going to go through all of our COVID data during this live update episode. Last time I showed you graphs and this graph and that graph and this graph. This year, you can still find the latest data on our COVID website. And in case you've forgotten, it's utk.edu/coronavirus. So the numbers are there. We won't go through all of them like we did last year, but we will update you on the active positive cases we have on campus. So here we go. As of the end of the day yesterday, we have 70 active positive cases. 20 of them are employees and 50 are students. Now that is up from the day before where we had 40 active cases, positive cases. And that was on Monday. And on Monday, the numbers were split almost half and half between employees and students. Now that's not a surprising increase if you stop and think about it. We've brought back, we've got almost 8,000 students living on campus. And let me just provide a larger context. So I said our number today is 70, 50 faculty and staff, and the remainder 50 are students, and the other 20 are faculty and staff. We have 31,000 students here this year. We have about 8,000 living on campus. We have 1,600 faculty and about 5,000 staff. So we always should be remembering when we talk about these numbers, let's put them in the larger context. So we have streamlined the data that we're tracking, not doing everything we did last year. It's just a very different situation. But you can still find the latest active case counts and the numbers of employees and students who have reached out to our COVID support team for guidance. And that's a real new service this year. is that we've really switched our emphasis from mitigation so much now that we have the vaccine to a lot of support for students either who test positive or faculty and staff, or who need support in other ways about COVID. So, and I'll speak to that. We will update these numbers every week. So last year we updated them daily. This year it will be weekly. We also we track community COVID information to help guide our decision making. Case counts, as we know, are going up because of the Delta variant, and hospital capacity is going down. So the best way to keep our community safe and healthy is for people to get vaccinated. We will continue to bring you important information here on the live update and through other means like email, social media, and our website. So first, let's talk about what is our mask policy and where are we with vaccinations. So as of today, as of right now, we are requiring everyone to wear masks in classrooms, laboratories, and indoor academic events that students are required to attend. It was orientation events the last few days, primarily. We continue to monitor local data, and we will update this based on local conditions. And I should say just a little bit more about how we make this. We have an emergency response unit that's been working for over 18 months on this on campus for how we're going to manage our situation. The high-level policy decisions, many of them, I am meeting with chancellors at the other campuses and with the president on a regular basis. And we will continue to look at our situation. We like as a system to try to make big decisions together, and we'll continue to do that. We're also encouraging you to wear your mask indoors, even if it's not required. And you know, as we see the numbers going up, all of us have to adapt our behavior. Now, the best way to protect yourself is to get vaccinated. Getting vaccinated also provides significant advantages if you become a close contact of someone who has tested positive for COVID-19. So let me say that again. The vaccine is also really helpful when you become a close contact. So if you are fully vaccinated, so fully vaccinated students and employees do not need to quarantine if they are exposed to COVID-19, someone who tested positive, and if you have no symptoms. The recommendation is that fully vaccinated people without symptoms be tested 3 to 5 days after you knew you were exposed to somebody, and that you wear a mask in public indoor settings for either 14 days or until you receive a negative test result. So for students on campus, if you find out that you were in contact with someone, you're vaccinated, you're in contact with someone who tested positive, you can go to the health center and get a test to see. You need to wait till the third day, at least the third day. So up to that point, you need to wear your mask, but you can still be out and about. If you test positive for COVID-19, it is important, just like it was last year, that you isolate yourself until you are cleared by a medical provider. So if you test positive, your doctor will tell you how long you have to isolate. We have a COVID support team that is available to give you guidance if you test positive, or if you come into contact with someone who's tested positive and you need advice on what to do. So in one sense, the campus may feel normal again, and we want it to feel that way, but the pandemic is not over. But we have so many more tools than ever to protect ourselves and one another. So please get your vaccine and wear a mask when you are indoors around other people. We held 2 really successful vaccine clinics this week, one at the Student Union and one at Neyland Stadium. I got to attend the one yesterday at Neyland Stadium. There was quite a lot of traffic going in and out of there. And on this campus, you can get a vaccine most weekdays at the Student Health Center. So anyone if you're living in a dorm, an RA can point you to how to get an appointment time. You can go to the coronavirus website, and that information is there as well. Encourage everyone who can to pursue the vaccination. Now, we are seeing more appointments every day for vaccinations at the Student Health Center. And I especially today want to thank again the leadership of Dr. Spencer Gregg. Many of you got to know him last year. His continued effort along with his teams for caring for our community during this pandemic has been unbelievable. We've also been giving away all sorts of amazing prizes this week to students who've been vaccinated or who have received their first shot in the past few weeks. These include things like somebody's going to be joining me in the university suite for a football game. Somebody's going to get the chance to bring their friends and play pickup basketball at Thompson Bowling Arena. And the most popular prizes we've been giving out are parking passes that allow you to park almost anywhere on campus. We've already given out 5 of those, and we've got more to give out. So the contest continues. So we encourage people to get vaccinated. We will have another drawing at the end of this day, and we will have additional prize drawings for student groups that have the highest vaccination rate. So we're working on that also. So please make sure you get your vaccination. Above all, we want to protect everyone on our campus and ensure that we can continue to have a full college experience this year. That's what this is all about. When I was out on campus yesterday, seeing lots of students walking to and from class, they were so excited. And I would say to them, how's it going with having to wear the mask in class? Every one of them said, you know what? It's worth it to me. I'm just so happy to be back here and be face to face with my teachers. Before we move on, I want to give a big shout out to our student athletes. They, once again, are lighting the way. As of today, 77% of our student athletes are fully vaccinated. And that number is going to go up because there are many of them who've received their first shot and are waiting to take their second shot. So our student athletes are leading the way. If they can do it, we can do it. And so I'm very, very grateful to them because they know the best way to protect themselves and their teammates and get to play the sport they came here to play is to get vaccinated. So I want to thank them for lighting the way and encourage everyone else to follow the same example that they're setting for us. So that's all I have to say today about COVID. I want to switch gears now and hope to share with you some of the excitement about returning to school, and in particular, the work that we're doing in the area of student success. So I want to say a big welcome to Vice Provost, Dr. Amber Williams.
Oh, good afternoon. Thank you, Chancellor. I appreciate being here today.
Okay, great. Well, Dr. Williams and her team have been working really hard on revamping our programs to welcome our new students and our returning students and to be sure that they are successful this academic year. We have succeeded in attracting the highest number of first-year students we've ever had. Now we want them all to be successful. So, Dr. Williams, we got them here. Tell me about some of the exciting programs you all have planned for students over the next few weeks.
Well, thank you so much for the opportunity to talk about some of the work we're doing. You may have seen we're hosting Big Orange Welcome right now, which this is 6 weeks of welcome. So 6 weeks of over 600 events that are both academically, socially, leadership activities. I mean, just a way for each one of our students to feel connected to the campus. And it's been phenomenal already. We're 1 week in, and we've had some really great events, from academic support services workshops to workshops of thinking about how to be safe and healthy on campus, to leadership workshops from our Dean of Students, to, torch night the other night. So lots of great things are happening right now.
That's fantastic. Now, last year, Dr. Williams, I've been talking about this a lot, but your team, you instituted this program called Vol Success Teams. Yeah. Every new student is assigned one. Talk to us a little bit about that. And because we've got new parents of new freshmen on here. What is the Vol Success Team and how do they help our students?
Yes, thank you. So Vol Success Teams I like to think of it as every student deserves a team of people that's cheering them on, a team of people who's helping them navigate the campus. And so every first-year student, when they enrolled here at the University of Tennessee, was assigned 3 people that are a part of their Vol Success Team. The first is their academic advisor, who they probably met over the summer as they started to select their courses for the semester. And that's the person that they're going to work with to think about their academic plan directly as it aligns to their major and their minors that they might have. The second person is their academic coach. And I think everybody needs a coach. Who doesn't want someone to cheer them on? But the academic coach also supports students from not only just thinking about their academic plan as far as the courses, but also what academic goals and dreams do they have? Where do they want to connect on campus as far as student organizations, maybe undergraduate research, maybe education abroad, or let's say they have some interest in connecting with some of our supplemental instruction, so getting some academic support services or some of our study sessions that we have on campus through the new Vol Study Center. So the academic coach connects them to resources. You can think of it that way. And then the third person that our students have is the one-stop counselor. And I think of this person as being the person that helps you with the business of being a volunteer. So they help you with financial aid, student accounts, how to register for your courses. So you've got these three people who are on your team to help kind of manage your experiences, specifically your first year experience here at the university. And I might say there's one other person that has been added to the Vol Success teams this year. So, and most of our students have what's called a peer mentor. And this is someone who's assigned to their first year studies class. I think Chancellor Plowman, you're teaching a first year studies class. Yes. Your students have a peer mentor. And that person is taking their first year studies course with them, but also kind of gets them connected to student leadership and life resources that are available on campus too. So we are thrilled with the Vol Success teams. And families who are on this call, I will tell you that our students last year said that their Vol Success team really helped them navigate the campus. Our students last year reported that they had lower stress if they were engaged with their Vol Success team. They had higher academic preparation and preparedness, and they felt like they had a higher sense of belonging here at the university. So if your student is having any challenges, or they just want to go to someone and say they're having a great time, they should definitely reach out to their Vol Success team.
You know, last night in my class, I was emphasizing how we have all these support services available for you here. You just have to say yes when someone calls you for an appointment. You have to reach out a little bit and take advantage of all of this. Yeah, I got so they were amazing, and they started asking questions. And my peer mentor Kyra, who's going to do a great job in there, she could answer questions I couldn't answer because I haven't gone to college here. I've just taught here and been an administrator here. So phenomenal program. Now here's something I want people to think about. This pandemic has affected higher education, affected all of our lives for such a long time. We only have one group of undergraduates here, really our seniors or our fourth year students who've had one complete year of what we would call normal pre-pandemic college experience. And I know that's been of concern to you and your colleagues, Dr. Williams. It's worried me. I didn't know what to do about it, but I know you've got some plans in mind. So what advice do you have for both our new students who spent a year and a half in high school in virtual settings, and for those who are returning to in-person classes really for the first time in a year and a half?
Absolutely. So for our new students, I would say the first thing is to get involved. And, check out the Vol Life app. All of our new students are a part of this app, and there's lots of those 600 events that I talked about earlier, the Big Orange Welcome. We're pushing out events every day. As a matter of fact, new Vols, you're going to have a surprise that's going to pop up today through your new Vol app. So really get involved in the new Vol app. You're going to see all kinds of events and activities that we encourage you to get involved in. But as far as the returning students, we've thought the same thing, Chancellor, and we've talked with students. And there was even some anxiety last spring as you made the decision for our scholars to come back on campus in the fall. Some of them they were all excited about it, but we're also thinking about well, what does this look like for me? I mean, and some of our students maybe lived in New York all last year. Our first year students are returning sophomores, lived in New York last year, and then are coming on campus and don't know where the buildings are at. So we took the time over the summer. We've got a team of people, campus partners, both from the colleges, student life, enrollment management, student success, that put together a program called Vol Start Back. And it is really a re-engagement program. There are 5 modules that are a part of the program, and it's a way for us to help students understand and remind them what resources are available to them, both academically and socially. But then also there's some quizzes and things for them to get engaged. It's a Canvas module, it's an online module. So there's some quizzes, reflection papers that the students will do, but then also it encourages them to go to events in person. So re-engage with your faculty by going to college level events, re-engage with some of the student organizations by participating in some of the student life activities. And basically, if the students participate in the modules, they're active participant in the modules, as well as attend some of the events, they will receive $250. I mean, get that, $250 to remind them of all the amazing resources that are available to them on the campus. And in some ways, I would say, re-engage, reteach them what it means to be an in-person student, what it means to raise your hand in the classroom, to be in small group conversations, to get connected with your peers in and outside of the classroom. So we're really excited about this opportunity. Students have until August 25th or August 27th to register for Vol Start Back. So we highly encourage them to do so.
I'm thrilled by that program because just as Dr. Williams pointed out, just the idea a year ago, even the students who were here on campus, most of their orientation had to be virtual.
Yes.
So they have not acclimated in the way we want them to college life and to success in the classroom. So I could not be more thrilled. And I hope parents on this call heard about that and asked your students, have you signed up for that?
Yes.
We know you parents, it's still one of the most significant influencers in the lives of college students. So don't think that they're not thinking about what you want them to do, even though they're away at college. So my last question for you, Dr. Williams, is what do you think? I know you've been at other universities, but what do you think makes the volunteer experience different and special?
Oh, what a great question. What I think makes the university so unique and special is that we are a university built on empowering every student by leveraging and developing their potential. So when I think about all the programs and the way our faculty engage our students, it really is, we push them to think big. We push them to think or encourage them to not only care and learn about themselves and their own self-awareness, but how they can impact the world, how they engage with others. So I like to think of that as or what we talk about here at the university is caring, the courage to care. But then finally, we're volunteers, which is amazing. And, so we lead. So when I think about this university and the great things that we're doing and the great things that our students I know will do, we are building up based on what they already have. They've already got so much talent. And, our faculty and staff are just working with them to develop it and to leverage it and to push it and to grow it and to challenge it. And it's great. So what I think is so unique about us is, definitely that we're the volunteers, but what does that mean at the detailed, nuanced stage? I don't know, Chancellor, what do you think? What do you think makes us unique?
I've said since I came here, it means something to be a volunteer.
Yeah.
And what we asked the students to pledge to the other night, and they all did it. It was just so inspiring. We pledged them to have the courage to care about themselves and one another. We asked them to have the courage to think about big ideas and be willing to talk about big and different ideas. And we asked them to have the courage to lead, like so many volunteers before them have done. So it gives me goosebumps every time I think about that. That's what it means to me. And I so appreciate you being with us today, Dr. Williams. I hope you will come back and give us an update in a few weeks on how all this is going, how Vol Start Back is going. I want to thank everyone who's on the call. We will continue to adapt these updates and everything else we're doing at the university, monitoring carefully what's going on. So our next time together is 2 weeks from today. If you have friends who didn't join us, tell them they can go look at it on the website after we're finished. So the next Thursday at 2:30 we'll be here is September 2nd. Hard to believe we're almost to September. And September 2nd, by the way, is a big day. It's our first home football game. And I just want to close this by saying, go Vols.